So you've probably heard about big data before. I'm Dr. Mandy Muyskens from Real Good AI, and I'm here to tell you about the two ways that data can be big and why that matters. So, first thing you need to know about data is that it typically comes in sort of like a rectangle shape that we've all generally agreed upon. And that form is sort of where each row is one object. So let's say that I'm trying to predict housing prices, right? So each individual row would be a new house that I have. And each of the columns within that row would be like things I know about the house, like number of bathrooms, where it's located, things like that. So, those are the two ways that it can be big, either in the number of houses or the things I know about each house. Now, let's talk about that. In general, you could have many, many houses, right? So let's imagine that I just have all the housing data on every house in the whole world. Now, that would be difficult to store, but maybe I could chunk it up. Maybe I don't need to know the housing prices in a foreign country to know what it's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. Maybe I just need local information to make that. And actually, there are lots of strategies where you can chunk up the data like that. And that's in the number of observations, or what we call N, big N problems. So those are tend to be easier to solve in general. Now, the flip side of that is when you have lots of information about a single house. Now we call that the dimension of the problem, or D. So you can have a big D problem. Oh, enjoy that for a minute. Okay, but the general idea here is that when you do have this big D problem, things might be really complicated in the information, and it's not as simple. You can't just break up some of the information from a single house. You want to know everything you can know about that single house. So, for example, like let's say that we have a two-bedroom house. Maybe going from one bathroom into two bathrooms in that house will really increase the price of that house. So that's a thing that we need to know, and we need to actually know those variables together. But what if we have two bedrooms and like 20 bathrooms? I don't know what that person is doing that they built 20 bathrooms in their house, but it really wasn't necessary. And that's information that might like keep the house from selling. People that might actually make it go down because why 20 bathrooms? What are you doing? Okay, so you get the idea. We can't take each of these variables by themselves. Often they have what we call interactions where things change based off other variables, and there's a lot of complex information that we might not be able to reason out about these variables. So we really need to take them all at once. This is what's so hard about this. There's no good way other than this is actually why neural networks exist, is because people got frustrated with this big D problem, and they wanted a way to deal with this complex variable space uh, without losing information. So things I've been thinking about are ways to deal with this big dimension problem in new ways, and we're actually working on some methodology. So I'm happy to give you this background on the two sizes of data and which one's harder, and hopefully we'll give you an update soon on some more research.